guys? J-Minerrr here, and if you have not already done so, if you are not a subscriber to the J-Minerrr YouTube channel already, I would like you to please do so. So start by hitting that subscribe button right now. If you're already a subscriber, start by hitting the like button, and we will go ahead and get into this build. Okay guys, today we are going to be doing a MineBox8 build. We are going to be putting 7 RTX 3090s in a MineBox8. Okay guys, the reason why I don't feel like we could go 8 3090s in the MineBox8 is because it only has a 2500 watt power supply, and I go by the 80% rule, and you know, the hypothetical theoretical 80% rule, and you know that I just don't feel comfortable putting 8 3090s in that on that power supply. Now originally what I was gonna do was I was actually gonna use either two 1500 watt platinum power supplies on the GPU build. When I was gonna do the 7 RTX 3090s, I was gonna do a 6700 XT and two 1660s, and I was gonna make it a 10 GPU rig. Okay, and for that I was either going to use 3 1200 watt ATX EVGA platinum power supplies, or I was going to use two 1500 watt HP platinum server power supplies, which would have gave me 3000 watts on the 7 RTX 3090s, the 6700 XT, and the 1660. Okay, now being that I just got this MineBox8 in today, I do have the MineBox12, and as I mentioned in my last video, the MineBox12 that I ordered, the distance in between the PCIe slots, because it's an all-in-one motherboard, the distance between the PCIe slots is only 40 millimeters, okay? So that limits you to what kind of card that you can put in that particular case, okay? Now, this is the MineBox8 here. This MineBox8, this actually has 65 millimeters distance in between each PCIe slot, okay? So that's going to give us a little more space. They say this is actually spec to make a 3090 fit, but with 8 3090s, and let's just say we are going to, you know, go 300 watts, 310, 320 watts on 8 3090s. That will put us, let's just say we go 300, will put us at 2400 watts, okay? Now, I don't feel comfortable putting 2400 watts on a 2500 watt power supply. I just don't feel comfortable doing it. So the most I would want to put on this, like I said, we will go by the hypothetical 80% rule. So with a 2500 watt power supply, the maximum we want to put on it is 2000 watts. So 8 3090s, you know, 300 watts a piece, we're already at 2400 watts, you know, and that's total system. So we do still have to leave a little bit, I'm sorry, that's only GPUs. We still need a little bit of, leave some power to run this motherboard, that CPU and all that. So I'm not comfortable with putting 8 3090s in here. So what I thought that I would do is I would put 7 3090s in here, okay? Guys, 7 3090s. Now, the reason why I decided to change it up and do 7 3090s, not only did I want to use this MineBox8 case, okay guys, I also wanted to utilize the all-in-one motherboard, and it's about space. So I'm looking to add more rigs, and what I'm looking to do is contain space. So I love the open air GPU rigs, but they take up a lot of space. So, you know, and let's just take this for an example, just because we're actually right here. So if you can see, this is a Veta frame, okay? Guys, that's an 8 GPU Veta frame back there. And if you look and you see the distance between those 8 GPUs, that's a pretty long space. You know, it takes up almost the whole, you know, shelf on the rack, on the rig rack. But this as you can see, look at, you know, how much more compact it is, and you can fit the same 8 cards, power supply, everything you got on this traditional rig right here, this traditional open air mining rig right here. And this here is my RTX 3070 mining rig. You can fit all 8 of those cards in this little bitty space right here. Okay, so this is what I like about this. This is about saving space. This is, I can get like more of these on a shelf than I can get the open air mining rigs, and that's what is the beauty about this. And this is why I ordered another one of these. Like I said, I do have the actual MineBox 12. This is the MineBox 8. And as I mentioned in my last video, the distance between the PCIe slots here, these all-in-one, because it's an all-in-one motherboard, the distance between these PCIe slots is 65 millimeters. And it can take a GPU that's up to 340 millimeters long. Okay, so 340 millimeters long, 65 millimeters thick. As opposed to the MineBox 12, which can only take a GPU that is, I believe, 230 millimeters long and 44 millimeters thick. So that's a big difference when, you know, you're looking to put in cards. So guys, if you're looking into getting one of these MineBox 12s or MineBox 8s, definitely check the cards that you are going to put in here. Check the specs on the cards. Make sure the specs on the cards fall in between the specs of what this particular case can hold. Now, they do make different variations to these cases. So the different variations all vary on what size GPU and how many GPUs you are going to put inside. Now, one other thing I will say is you cannot run this on 120 volt. This has to be run on 240 volt. 220 or 240 volt. Okay. You cannot run this on the standard 120 in your home like you can an ATX power supply. It's not gonna work. So that's just to, you know, put that out there. If you're looking into getting one of these, you will need to have 220 installed. Okay, so that's, you know, a whole nother task within itself if you don't already have 220. So if you're in a residential miner and you don't have 220 available and don't want to convert into 220, this probably isn't, this server style case rig probably isn't the best go for you. But if you do have 220, this is a great space saver. Okay, now one thing I will also say is the different variations in the styles of these MineBoxes. They come in a MineBox 8 and a MineBox 12, and I believe a MineBox 6. Okay, and I'll leave a link. They're from Mineshop.eu, and also the owner, Guntis, I believe has a YouTube page, YouTube channel, I'm sorry, on YouTube as well. I believe he did a big RTX 3090 rig build as well. So go to his page, check that out. It was a huge rig build, almost a gigahash. So yeah, but he did a traditional mining rig with 4 ATX power supplies. So like I said, the beauty about this is it's all about saving space. With this, you got everything all in one. You have your CPU and your fan in there. You've got your M2 here, okay, and then you've got your motherboard and your PCIe, everything all in one. Okay, everything all in a nice neat little case. Now what I will say though is the MineBox 12. So I'll go ahead and I'll show you guys the MineBox 12 here. This is the MineBox 12, and this MineBox 12 actually has an Onda B250 motherboard in it. Okay, this is the version 1.0, but this is the Onda B250 motherboard. But the difference with this motherboard is that this motherboard is a newer variation of the motherboard. And this is the MineBox 12 that I ordered first. Now, let me also point out, again, look at the distance between these PCIe slots, okay? Like, the distance between the PCIe slots is very narrow. So you're limited to what kind of card you can put in here. To be honest, I don't even think that I can fit the RTX 3060 Ti for the Win 3 editions in here. I'm thinking I'm gonna have to buy 12 XC3s in order to get them in there. in order to make 12 GPUs fit in there. Otherwise, I may have to do 6 but I'm definitely gonna load this thing with 12 GPUs. I just do not think that you can fit a For the Win 3 edition just because of how thick they are as compared to the XC3, which is much thinner. And you could probably fit 12 of those in there. Also, another thing is you would get away with 12 3060s and 3070s because this is a 2500 watt power supply, and you'd still be safe with doing the 12 3060 Ti's or 3070s. But again, I don't think you're gonna get anything bigger than that in there because of the 40 millimeter distance in between the PCIe slots. Now, one other thing also is this is also 220 volt only, but this one has an HDMI, okay? This one has an HDMI. Now, the MineBox8, for some reason, well, not for some reason, as I mentioned in my last video, it does not come with the Anda B250 motherboard, because as you can see, this motherboard is way more complex than the other motherboard. The other motherboard, you can just look at it and tell that it's a lot more basic, you know? So, as a matter of fact, and then also, I'll also show you what I'm talking about when we're talking about the 3060 Ti and the 3060 XC. Oh, also another thing here with the 3070s, it's all about the variation of the 3070 that you buy, because these are the RTX 3070 For the Win 3 edition. You see how big that is? That's huge, that's thick. However, this is the RTX 3070 Founders Edition. Now, I could get 12 of these in that case, okay? And this is the RTX 3070 XC3. Now, I don't know if I could get 12 of those in there. I'm pretty sure I could, but I know 100% I could get 12 of these in there. So that may be a thought. But also, we're going to go up here to the 3060 Ti rig. This is the 3060 Ti rig. This is the 3060 Ti For the Win 3, and this is the 3060 Ti XC3. Like, you see the distance, you see the size difference in that one. I'll come around to the side, see if you guys, oh yeah, look at that. Okay, so look at that. And obviously it's a dual fan design compared to a triple fan design on the RTX 3060 Ti. So, I know I could fit 12 of these 3060 XCs in here because look at how thin that is. That is a very thin GPU. You could definitely get 12 of those in there. It's not very thick, but the XC3, the triple fan, is look at how much longer it is as well, because you've got a whole extra fan here that you got to fit in here. So I know I could get 12 of these in there. That may be what I have to do, is get 12 of the XC3 editions. But I'd like to maybe get rid of this rig frame here. This was originally like a test bench, and then go ahead and get 12 of the 3060 Ti's, because I actually do have five of the 3060 Ti Founders Edition cards that I have not opened yet. One of the same ones I just gave away at the giveaway. So yeah, I was actually going to wait till I got 6 of those to have a total of 6 for a full rig. But if I throw 6 of those in there and then have 6 of those 3060 Ti XCs, I think it's a go on the 12. And that's going to save up a lot of space too. Now, one other thing here, when you're thinking about something like this, is the power consumption. Okay, look, I can't even put this on the circuit. I can't even put this, I have to totally put this on a different bank, because if you guys can see here, okay, I'm at 4,680 watts on this, okay? And if you guys can see my little signs here, that 30 amp at 240 volts is 7,200 watts max. But our 80% rule, 80% gives us 5,760 watts max. And we're at 4,680 watts on that bank. So we're not gonna be able to put this extra 2,500 watts on that bank. So we're gonna have to go down, and there's our 120. We don't have much on our 120. And then here is our other bank here. We've got nothing, pretty much nothing on that one. And here's our other bank here. Oh, we don't have anything on that one, excuse me. And then here's the bank that I'm gonna put it on. So we've only got 1.8 watts because I don't have anything running on that bank. This is the bank I'm gonna especially use specifically for this. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started here, and we're gonna go ahead and get the GPUs out, and we are gonna throw the 7 RTX 3090s into this MineBox8 all-in-one GPU MineBox8 case. Okay, so I've already got it plugged in and everything. I just wanted to give it a test fire up real quick because I had to go grab a old school or a monitor actually. What I was going to use, as if you guys are familiar, I actually use these on all my builds. I was going to use this 4-inch touchscreen here. That I love those. That's what's running right there. Okay, I love those because they're just really easy to look at and monitor your rig. That's this, the 7-inch captive touchscreen for the Raspberry Pi, but it did not have an HDMI out. That is an older motherboard, so it only had the DVI out for the regular the regular monitor, excuse me. Okay, yeah, I was trying to grab something. So yeah, this is really neat. I really like this all-in-one design. It's pretty cool. So I'm gonna go ahead and fire it up, and well, let's just see if it runs. So I plugged the monitor in. I've got power into it. Don't want to plug an Ethernet cable or anything into it. I just want to fire it up, give it a test run, see if it boots up. All right, let's go. Oh, I didn't hear fans. What's going on? Okay. Okay, let's see what's going on. Oh, duh, power button, huh? Right? Okay. Yeah, okay, duh. Sorry, guys. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3. Oh, come. Oh, duh. Okay, so we do not have power, huh? Oh, do I have the bank turned on? Okay, guys, hold on a second. Let's see here. Oh, yeah, hold on a second. I'm not plugged in up there tight. Give me 1 second. All right, guys. So what it was I wasn't plugged in my top power bank up here, in my top PDU. Yeah, that's a monster PDU. Yeah, so I wasn't plugged in tight in this little bank right there, so that was a little bit loose. So yeah, got that all taken care of. So now we are gonna go ahead and fire it up, and we'll see if it fires up. Okay. All right, right away, guys. Right away. Make sure you don't got anything near those fans. Wow, that's loud. That is pretty loud, guys. Oh, okay. All right, cool. Yeah, whoa. There we go. We're booting up into HiveOS. All right, cool. That's exactly what we wanted here. All right, so we've already got HiveOS already preloaded on here, so I don't even have to change out the M2. But wow, are those fans loud, guys. All right, guys, so yeah, we're booting right up into Hive. So you know what? This is actually going to be pretty easy. As you can see, it says it does not have a flight sheet, and we're booting up into Hive. No rig config file either. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get this set up here, and I'm gonna get out the GPUs. Those fans are much louder than I thought they would be. They're so loud they actually sound like something's obstructing them, or they're just humming like that. I don't know. You know what? I think it's because the I know it. It's because the top is off. Okay. Yeah, guys, I want to say that that's part of the design. And that's why it's vented in certain places the way it is. is that noise will probably quiet down once we get the GPUs in and the top on and close down. I think that humming will stop, because when I put my hand on here, yeah, it kind of quieted that down a little bit. So, okay guys, yeah, let's get, oh yeah, absolutely. So, as you guys see, it already has HiveOS on it. I am a big HiveOS fan. I don't use Windows too often to mine with. I'm a fan of using Windows on a PC, but to me, HiveOS is more dependable. To be honest, I have not ever used Windows to mine, so I can't really, you know, say 100% that I don't like it. This is based on research and opinions of other miners that have lots of cards. They say that the stability in Hive is a little bit better than Windows. I know one downfall is you cannot see the memory junction temperature in HiveOS. So for me, I don't think that's a problem because I keep my cards cool. As you can see, the ambient temperature in the room right now is 82 degrees, but that's only because when I record, I turn off all the big fans and the exhaust fans that I have in the windows that create the wind tunnel coming in, guys. So this is perfect. Oh, we've already got HiveOS booted, already loaded on here. So we pretty much just got to load some GPUs in there and go ahead and get the rig built. Or not even get the rig built, just go ahead and get the GPUs thrown in, go ahead and get our flight sheet loaded up, our rig config file, our flight sheet, everything we're gonna need in HiveOS, and then, you know, we'll just get it to mining. All right, guys, and then we'll talk about profitability and how much this rig will make. All right, guys, I'm gonna get the GPUs and we'll get to it. All right. All right, guys, one thing I just wanted to point out was, look at this 12 GPU AAA wave mining rig frame. Just look at this size of this frame in comparison to this 8 GPU Veta frame. That 8 GPU Veta frame is almost twice the size in length that this 12 GPU AAA wave frame is. So I think we would have had some problems putting 73090s on there, the 6700 XT and the 1660. So I just wanted to point that out in context. So I'll step back a little bit so you guys can see. Like, in comparison, this mining rig is so narrow and small. I mean, don't get it wrong, it will do 12 GPUs. It is, you know, it'll serve its purpose. But I don't think we would have got the 73090s, like I said, the 6700 XT and the two 1660s on here. In comparison to, like, say that, look at that 8 GPU Veta frame, which is almost as long as that rack there. It almost takes up the whole shelf on the rack, as opposed to I could probably get 2 of these, maybe 2.5 of those on that rack. So that's just something I wanted to point out to you guys as to the context of how small this is. This is purely a space-saving option to me. So what I'm going to do here is we're going to try to go ahead and throw in these 7 3090s here, guys. All right, these 7 RTX 3090s. And then I don't think I'll have room. I don't think, because we'll be breaking the 80% rule just for the 8th GPU. I was going to put this AMD 6700 XT in there as well, but I think we'd be breaking the 80%, hypothetical 80% rule on our power supply. So I don't think I'm going to go that route. So I think what we're going to do here, guys, is we're going to stick to these 7 3090s here, okay? These 7 3090s. We've got 4 EVGA for the Win 3 edition. We've got 2 NVIDIA 3090 Founders edition. And then we've got 1 Asus TUF 3090 over there. So that's a total of 7 3090s. We're going to throw them in this MineBox8 right here. And then we'll see how it goes, guys. All right. I just wanted to show you in comparison to this. Oh, actually, look. Take a look. Actually, this 12 GPU mining rig frame is actually a little bit bigger in context when you think about, or actually when you look at it compared to this one here. That AAA wave frame is pretty narrow, pretty tight, pretty compact compared to this 12 GPU frame here. Here, I'll move it over here, guys, just so you know, you guys can kind of get a better context of it. So Try to put that over there. Right there. Alright, that should do it. Alright, so guys, alright, so in context, take a look at this. That frame is so small compared to that other frame there. Yeah, I just don't think that we would have got away with putting the 123090s on that frame. So that's just something I wanted to show you guys in context with that 3090 there, because like you could just see how much smaller that AAA wave frame is compared to that 12 GPU frame off of eBay there. So yeah, guys, just wanted to give you a context of that, guys. So yeah. All right, well, let's get on to this build. Let's get to this build that we've got here going on. We've got a lot of stuff out, so yeah, let's go ahead and concentrate on this. Let's get these 73090s in here. We won't worry about the 6700 too much because I don't want to break the 80% rule, the hypothetical 80% rule, guys. So let's go ahead and just get to these 73090s, get them in this MineBox8 and get it fired up. All right, see you in a second.